Alright, welcome back to my bodywork on my 1989 GMC 2500 series pickup truck. Again, an 8-lug. A little schooling for those who don't know. Now, there are two different kinds of 3/4 ton trucks that were made. Now, there's 1500, 2500, and 3500 on the Chevrolet, and most trucks have a 10, 20, and 30 series. Now, the light-duty 3/4 ton is more like a half-ton. The frame of a 1-ton truck is different from the frame of a half-ton. This is a heavy-duty suspension, as you can see. The frame of a 1-ton is different than a half-ton. Now, a light-duty 3/4 ton is like a beefed-up half-ton. A half-ton 2-wheel drive truck has 5 lug nuts. A 4-wheel drive half-ton has 6 lug nuts. A light-duty 3/4 ton, which has a frame more like a half-ton, is a light-duty 3/4 ton truck with 6 lug nuts, just like the half-ton 4-wheel drive. Whether it's 4 or 2-wheel drive, either one, if it's a light-duty half-ton, it's going to have 6 lug nuts. You go up to your heavy-duty 3/4 tons, have 8 lug nuts, along with 1-ton trucks also have 8 lug nuts. Even dualies have 8 lug nuts. So I don't know if some dualies have 10 lug nuts or not, but basically your heavy 3/4 ton has a frame more like a gearing, built more like a 1-ton truck, is 8 lug nuts. That's what it takes. This truck has a payload of 3,442 pounds payload. Now I've got the epoxy primer, which is water resistant to keep water out, to keep rust from setting in. And I've got some more of that. Now I've got it sanded and smoothed out pretty good. It's not perfect, but I don't expect this truck to be perfect. Now right now I got these cab corners are just Bondo filler. On these cab corners, I've got some new cab corners, but to do the new cab corners, I have to take the bed off to get to this back here. I have to take the bed off to get and move the bed back, and I don't want to do all that right now. So basically, there were a few little holes and little low spots. I took a hammer and hammered down the high spots, and it left dents in the truck. So I went ahead and Bondoed that, and it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of Bondo in a vehicle. If it's just a light layer of Bondo and you got solid metal underneath it and it's not going to flex or give or anything, it's not going to crack. As long as it's no more than 1/4 of an inch thick Bondo. It should be less than 1/4 of an inch. It's starting to set up now. And these little spots here, and once I do these, I'll sand these down and I'll do the epoxy primer on these areas once again. Now this lower panel right here is in bad shape. I'm going to replace it. I'm going to get another panel, a patch panel for this to replace this down here, cut it off, and weld a new piece down here, and I'll do that, and I'll do that later, but not right now. This truck was a farm truck, and it was really rough, and I've done a lot of little body work to it because it was a farm truck. There's a big dent, and I put up I got this tailgate cheap, so now this was dented in, and I pushed it back out, so just a little bit of Bondo here, and I'm going to add Bondo. There is a scrape down the side of the truck, so and I took this down here. There's a dent there, a ding there, and I did that. I touched up that a little bit. This was banged in pretty bad, and I'm going to put a layer of Bondo on that. And it's not going to hurt anything as long as it's a thin layer of Bondo and there's solid metal behind it. Like I said, there were high spots here, and I fixed those high spots. I ground those high spots, banged them down with a hammer and left some dents. So I banged them down, and then these low spots that I created, plus some other little places there, I just put a little more filler in. This is going to be just about it before it's time to go ahead and add my, these are my truck camper tie-downs. They go into the stake pockets of the truck, or truck camper tie-downs. I got 4 of those. basically. And when I grind this down, sand this down today, and I'll go ahead and put the epoxy primer on. Eventually, I want to get some good rims, nice looking rims with some pre-owned tires on them. And when I do that, with the pre-owned tires on, I will go ahead and, you know, and I'm not going to prime the whole truck. You can actually paint over the old paint but you got to sand the truck down. You got to sand the whole vehicle down. Not totally. You got to scuff it. You don't have to sand it. You have to scuff it. Scuff the vehicle so the paint will stick to it. And I'll scuff the whole vehicle. Not sand it down, but scuff the whole vehicle. And then I'll get some cheap paint on eBay. A single stage paint. It's not clear coat, base coat. A single stage because it's cheaper and it's good for a beginner to learn to do. So what really helped me to do this is a long block. Now this long block here is a long sanding block, so you can keep it level, so you can keep your body work level, so you won't have waves in your body. You know, I put this on a piece of line. This is like a cheese grater. They call it a cheese grater, and it's a Bondo file for body filler. You know, you grade down your body filler with this and rough body filler to smooth down your body filler so you don't have to sand so much. So that's just a little update on my truck, and I'll use that single stage paint and I hit this truck. There's some paint on eBay for $135. You can see this placed on the side of the truck where somebody sideswipes sometimes. So that's what this is here, just to fix those places. So what I have to do is go ahead and it's gold paint. It's actually gold paint that $135 kit. You have the paint, you have the activator, and you have reducer. And so 3 parts there, and I took that kit off of there so I could do that down there. And the 3 parts, you can use to a single stage paint for $135. It's in Inca Gold or something like that. It's gold paint. So I'm going to try to take the truck back to gold again because I don't want to have to paint inside the door jams and everything else. This is just a first paint job with an auto sprayer. I've got most of the stuff that I have to do to paint, so all I have to do is I've got most of the stuff to do to paint the truck. So I'm just, I need another hose. So that's it for the update of the bodywork. I'll see you next time.